Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Deborah Harlow, and I'm part of the Wells International Foundation team. And I am here with
Dr. Monique Y. Wells, founder and CEO of the Wells International Foundation, otherwise known as WIF.
exactly. And we are also joined by
Naida Culshaw. I'm a lecturer, weaver, and partaker in hiking in the mountains when I can.
I love it. I love it. Hopefully you'll understand that while we're chatting about who we are and what we do, and most importantly, getting to know Naida, we like to have fun, right? You can see the smiles on our face and we enjoy life. And that's a core piece of what the Wells International Foundation services are all about. So our purpose for coming in today was to do that, to get to know Naida better and to really understand, Naida, how you're going to be a pivotal person, double P's there, in the L Cubed Membership Alliance and what that's going to look like for our members. So this may feel a little interview style, but let's also have some fun with it as we get to know you better.
Sure.
All right. So first of all, biggest question on, I think, my mind and maybe most people's mind is your background and experience and how you feel that aligned you with what the L Cubed Alliance is all about.
Well, I think the idea of empowerment, getting to know yourself, self-engagement, and then creating your own sort of path, whatever that path might be, is a little bit how I've aligned with this particular initiative and my own background. It's one of these things when you are a US person who lives outside of the US, and when someone asks you, where are you from? You end up with this very, very, very long kind of thing that you end up doing. And so I'm going to make it short by saying that my professional background includes nonprofit organizations, it includes for-profit, it includes working in an advertising agency, and then when you leave the US and I came to France, you have to reinvent yourself, which means that you have to kind of reassess, who am I, where am I, what do I want, and where do I want to go, and what pieces can I take with me, and what things do I need to add? And so I already went through that sort of iteration, my own process, at least 2 or 3 times while being here. And so I think that that's the experience that I'm bringing to the table. It's also recognizing what it feels like to have to do that reinvention, but without it feeling like you're losing yourself in the process. So yeah, a little bit of that. Now, the coaching, facilitating, and a lot of the work that I do here, I do work both in the classroom as a lecturer at a university, but I also do a lot of consulting work. And so that consulting work, I like to call it, when I'm working, especially with one-to-one coachees, is that I'm helping most organizations or individuals go through a transition period. So I don't like the term exactly like change, because it's like a transition. It's like the seasons, right? You know, you kind of like move slowly and all of a sudden you're like, what? It's winter? What? It's summer? And so it's kind of like that, where sometimes it's an external force, like you lose your job, or there's something outside of your own control that is affecting, i.e. COVID-19 and or all the different versions of that. But then also you have your internal changes, like, do I really want to keep doing this? Or I really don't feel happy, or somehow I found myself someplace where this isn't where I thought I wanted to be, and where is it do I want to be? And so that links both to professional, because I work with a lot of women who are in transition from one level to another level. Like I've been a team lead and now I'm going to be the vice president of the entire department. And so what does that mean? How can I be that person authentically? But I also support people with their own personal journeys. And so I work with another coach here. I'm looking out the window at the mountains, where we do a lot of work in nature. And here it's about reconnecting to yourself. We call it the seasoned self. And it's really about seasoning, kind of like spicing yourself, and to take some of that wisdom from that past and present and move it into the future.
Oh, I love that. That aligns on so many levels with what WIF stands for, what the L Cubed Alliance is all about. We also talk about that we follow the moon phases. So if you're feeling like you're in a stuck phase or something is feeling intense, just know that the moon shows you it's a phase. You will get to the other side of it and you'll be able to grow along the way. So I love that you're bringing in the seasons. That's beautiful. So you started to mention a little bit about this, and I'd love to hear a little bit more. What is it about facilitating masterminds or being in these types of containers that you really enjoy?
Well, I consider I like the term, I used to use the term facilitation. And I think I have moved away from that term. And that's a little bit of showing my own growth and change and shift. And I love the word hosting. I'm hosting a conversation. I'm hosting a collective reflection, sometimes building off of each other's knowledge. I like the term wisdom, your own sense of self, and using questions as a way to help you find your own answers. And so the process of the mastermind is really about like building blocks. It's about, you don't really know where that extra little puzzle piece is going to come from within the group. Sometimes it's a story that someone shares about their own issues, but sparks a memory in you that makes a connection that all of a sudden now you're working on a different level. And so that idea of mastermind is literally that, putting several brains together, collective intelligence creates that mastermind that sort of floats in the middle of all the heads that are there, to leverage a little bit of that, of everybody's knowledge, and to build on that. And so I enjoy the sparks. I enjoy watching the, wow, what you just said reminded me of, that kind of thing. Or someone says, whoa, you know, you sounded just like my sister. And then that's because of whatever reason, and therefore there's a connection. And it's just interesting how that happens within a group with no script, no plan, and no prodding in any particular direction. It's super organic. That's also the thing I love about it. It's very emergent.
I love that. Yes. Well, when we create space for humanity to be present, magic happens. And that's exactly what you embody and what you're showing and you're showcasing. So I love that. Beautiful. So one thing that I know might be interesting to hear, because I don't even know the answer to this, is why the L Cubed Alliance membership program, or why did you say yes to this opportunity to being part of the community?
Well, first I would have to say that, you know, Monique asked, so that was pretty much it. And so after Monique asked.
That is often the question. That's why I'm here right now doing the things I do. Monique asked me.
She asked me. I don't know, what else did you need to know? No, so.
Actually, that's a full comment, because those of us who know Monique are like, yeah, that's all it takes.
So, yeah, so she asked. No, but also because with the first time she asked, I had the opportunity to co-facilitate some masterminds in person, and that was in Paris when pre-COVID, when you were able to get together in a conference room without masks. And it was really, really an amazing experience. First of all, you know, I always take these opportunities when you're in a conference environment to learn for yourself. But then as I was hosting the table conversation with those that I was given in the workshop, in the conference, it was super interesting, because I found that although it can look super intimidating to someone, wow, they're the vice president of something, or they're the director of that a lot of these women are still in the process of just like everybody else. So what do I want to be when I grow up? Like the new version of the grow up. or the new, I don't really want to be doing that anymore. So how can I not do that? And how can I bring this in and sort of take that out? And I just found that it was like, oh, it just reminds you that you're continually in this renewing process, regenerative process. And so that I really appreciated. And I appreciated the questions. I appreciated the intent and intentions of these wonderful professional ladies, the things and projects they had in mind. And so it's more about just being part of the conversation. Like, it's my way of saying, can I just sort of be part of your little club for a little while and have a conversation? So yeah.
I love that fully. That's often why I say yes to. It starts with Monique asking me, and then I get in there and see the other collective of women there and say, oh my goodness, this is so much fun. I would be happy just to be a fly on the wall, let alone collaborating. So I love that. And you also shared about whether they're in their state and they're enjoying it, whatever the title might be, or like you said, when I want to grow up. I also find out that often women will say, okay, so this is what being grown up looks like. This doesn't feel aligned. I'm going to rewrite the script. Right? I'm going to redefine what it means to be a grown-up. Doing the thing that I'm going to do. And that's where we get to tap into our joy. So I love that you will be there for that too. Beautiful. Well, my final question for you is, what do you hope to gain or receive from the experience?
As the host, I'm very, in my intention is to give space and room for whatever needs to happen. So it's more like a big invitation of engagement and of exchange. But then for myself, I don't actually have an intention of what I would like to have. It's that I become quite fulfilled in the exchange, in the dialogue, and in recognizing, watching the smiles, watching the laughter, sometimes a little bit of crying and a little bit of emotion, but that they're tapping into something that's going to be supportive for them. And I think that's what I really gain something from when that happens. But for myself, I just say I'm going to be there with my full self authentically to engage and to have a conversation and to really listen, because it's the deep listening that's really helpful, I think.
I love that. Well, you and I are kindred souls for sure. That's 100% my background and the things that I do. So I absolutely love seeing who you are and how you show up in the world and how you're going to be able to host those experiences for these amazing women who will be so blessed to be in your company. And we're really excited to get to know you and continue on in this fun and this experience together. So thank you so much for saying yes to Monique, as we all do, and saying yes to being part of the community with these amazing women.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.